It's always permanent interest. We want to galvanize people, especially us, Black America, to side with them on their lackluster approach to dealing with the death of those soldiers. But I'm playing my plan with them.
Now that's a fact, Brother Lone Wolf. Hey, Brother Twiz, you are back. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the honorable hostess of the mostest himself has joined us for some more Pat Talk on the Angry Black Man's Book Club. Dr. Lancaster-Short is in the building. Sir, we have been getting them nice and warmed up properly. Shout out to everybody that's in here and joining us on the multiple platforms. Dr. Short, you got the floor, sir.
Well, who are you going to call, folks? You're going to call Coon Busters on Pat Talk. Again, on behalf of the Angry Black Men's Book Club, the new United Black Media Matrix, for all those angry Black men and women out there, or should I say WA Bros, which stands for Warrior Brothers, and WAZs, Warrior Sisters. WA Bros, WAZs, angry Black men and women across the world, join hands and give the finger to not having a check, not having full human rights, not having sovereignty, and also give the finger to the traitor boule people within our midst. I just want to say hi to everyone. I want to let you know that, yes, this is Pat Talk 9. Yes, I came in late. That's all right. Chef C, Lone Wolf, giving honor to all the distinguished pulpit members, to all those who've been invited to be on the show today. We're not here to discuss the negative state of political feminism for form or fashion, but in honor of the one true God and his prophet, Kevin Samuels. We are here to say that political pork chops have gone wild and they're being busted. And I'm not talking about busted like horizontally. We're talking about folks getting jail time, people getting checked. And honestly, I outside of the fagonist simp culture of Black America, which is it's dominant, we are under the minority rule of sub rule of sell out ignorant men and women, pork chop feminists, fagonists, and simps who don't like the family, who don't like Black freedom. They don't like God. And everything is about, you know, sex and sensation and clowning and all of that. We're here to correct them. And I want to say, and I've been saying over many platforms for years, Black women, Black sisters, no matter how much we care, we can't make you hear us. We can only say. But I was saying in 2020 and even before, don't be the face of reaction to the white masses. Oh, okay. Please don't, because in reality, that's a man's job. That's why we talk about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. There really were not, I don't care what anyone says, there were not matriarchs able to handle the kind of hate, pressure, and of course, assassination attempts and threats that Medgar Evers, Mark Clark, and Fred Hampton, by the way, didn't all of their women survive? And we don't want the women hurt. When you're fighting for justice, the people on the front line are men. All of us are crying in our beer or whatever it is that we're drinking over the 3 Georgia National Guards persons who got blown up in Syria. The real reason we're not crying over the 47-year-old guy. He's, almost made to middle age. We're crying over the two women that never had children. The young girls, by the way, presentable. I mean, should have had a man instead of a gun, or had a gun and a man. They're not here. They're gone. They're gone. And we haven't seen pictures of how many American personnel. Over and over again, we're hearing dozens and dozens of Americans injured in Iraq, Syria, and Jordan, and no pictures. I wonder how many of them are Black women. I wonder how many of them are young Black folks who are National Guards type people, not regular U.S. soldiers. And again, they'll use you. But what we've been trying to warn our sisters is that they've got Black people in such a complete state of being down. They don't need Black women anymore. They don't need to use you to bring your people down. They're now throwing you away. And the problem is that a lot of the pork chop feminists and the negative toxic sisters, these matriarchal terrorists, they've hurt a lot of people along the way. And thanks to our holy prophet and our guiding light, Kevin Samuels, he opened our eyes. And you see, when you've done wrong amongst your own, working for the other side, it's not always easy to come back and be amongst your brothers and sisters because folks are looking at you cross-eyed. So let me just say to you, for the last 60 years, a vagina, regardless of how infected or busted up or the tightness or whatever, even if there's a boob sagging over it, it's been an American Express card. It's been an alibi. It's been something that people won't, I'm going to just tell you something about the average Black man. He is so pathetic and he's so hedonistic. If no matter what a woman did wrong, he will always look at whether he'd like to have sex with her more so than what her character. I'm just telling you, Black men don't have any. Most Black men don't have any dignity when their dick is hard. Okay, when they're horny or when they think about screwing, just they zero out. There's no morals. There's no right. There's no wrong. There's no. For example, if you got a buddy and you tell him that a woman did something to you that was terrible, let's say somebody broke down on the side of the road. You saw this woman, she was kind of cute. So you helped her out and she asked to borrow like $200 from you and you lent it to her. And then when they never paid you back and dissed you, if you told a guy that it happened, his first question is, what does she look like? Let's translate it. Did you want to fuck her? And the other question is, let me see who it was that ripped you off. Maybe even though she stole your money, I might still be the one that's able to fuck her. Offer your $200. That could be someone you've known all your life. Just the thought, no matter whether she cheated or stole or did someone wrong, the fact that she's presentable and fuckable, that person would betray you and not think, hey, this is my guy I've known all these years. You don't want folks stealing money from him, because if it were a man that stole $200 or ripped him off, man, that's screwed up, man. We should go, right? Black men are very quick to execute justice when it's a Black man, even if it's not true. Especially if a woman goes and tells a man that another man did something, the dude won't even think about it. Yep, well, I'm gonna go good, right? But when it's a woman, because the Black man in America has been told, as we've been dumbed down, thinking with his penis is really cool and that's the way to be, that he would side with the person that ripped you off and he's not even on your side. By the way, this is why Black men haven't united and coalesced in America to get the things we need, because most folks can't get beyond their ego or what pleasures them for the moment. And so their 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 philosophy, their way of life is all about getting satisfied, being pleasured at anybody's expense, even their own children they may walk off on. But I got mine. I got some ass. And so, but I want to say to the pork chops, the feminists out there, Kevin Samuels broke the curse, sort of like when Jesus came and conquered sin and death with salvation. Kevin Samuels conquered the pussy shortage. Black men had lived for centuries under the curse of a pussy shortage. And that's why black men beg and scrape and panhandle more than any other men on the planet. By the way, our women are spoiled and they're so goddamn ungrateful, they don't even realize how good they have it. Take that same black man from America who can cook, clean, take care of the babies, sweet talk, and even take being mouthed back off, and maybe even being swung at and not swinging back. Take that to another country where women just get their eyes blacked and shit on a regular pro forma basis. Those women swarm the black American man. That's the easiest man in the world to deal with. He can cook, he can fuck, he makes money, he looks okay, blah blah blah, and he doesn't mind if I have a job or a career, if I have a big mouth, if I have a mind, as long as he's loved, he's good. Believe it or not, just think about being in Brazil years ago, and I can't wait to go back. The Brazilian women, even when they had high-level corporate jobs, when they got back home, the man did not get a microwavable pizza for dinner. Unthought of, just outrageous for a man to have instant food. That lady took pride in getting home and making a meal for her man. When I think about the professional black women I know who cannot cook, the people I went to college with couldn't do anything other than have a job. They were just like a dude. They were basically like a trans woman with the real pussy. Most other cultures, most men around the world, which is why passport sisters or passport hoes, they're bombing because they're not competitive as women. They may look okay, but basically, let's be real, except for a super simp, which is about, I'd say 35% of black men, a third of black men are just hopeless pole holes. A vagina is a lot like a car. Once it rolls off the lot, it depreciates immediately. Once someone's rolled in it, like a car, and therefore the clock is running, right? A lot of people are waiting until what they think that people are going to wait for them until their 40s and 50s. Like I heard 50's the new 30. Believe that shit if you want.
Nobody got time for that.
Believe that if you want. So I'm saying to you, in this new age, in fact, we patriarchs have divided history, in particular for black men, into two ages, BK and AK. BK is before Kevin Samuels. AK is after Kevin Samuels. This is year AK2. Kevin Samuels has gone to be with the Lord, and he's left basically a new civil religion among his disciples, his persecuted disciples. We know y'all hate us. But when you persecute people, you make them stronger, you make them crazier. They're more devoted because they've been rejected. They're catching hell. This just made people more tight. I mean, the Kevin Samuels creed, the Kevin Samuels faith or sub faith is strong. I mean, it's growing. You can't stamp it out. You have to love it. You have to join it. Join or in relationship die. You have to come along. You've got to learn to cook. You've got to learn to be cooperative. You have to learn to see why, as much as Donald Trump, it can be repellent, what might make a black man who has to compete with all these goddamn illegals in the lines of work that you tramps aren't in. Why all these illegals coming over in construction would be vexing to black men. Why black men who have to fight the gangsters who are coming in. I mean, even folks selling weed and all this, black men who can't set up stuff and sell anywhere, watch other people, I mean, with rats and everything and their pineapple and stuff, that they're allowed to do it. And I can't set up a hustle on the street like that. Why black men would want a border, and why black men can see that if you bring in enough military age men with no wives or children, and of course, we know if you're a man, your dick's gonna get hard. You have all these packs of men with no women. What do you think's gonna ultimately happen? You don't think people south of the border get a hard on?
No.
And if you ladies think that, there used to be this thing about women not being as smart as men. I don't buy that, but I do think women and men think differently. And I think, and where women think differently from men is where women get into trouble. For example, I'm not saying that you can't think like a woman because you're a woman, but I'm just thinking about Long Beach, California, where a white gentleman went to the beach with his sweetheart. She went missing. Within an hour of him calling the police, she was found dead. Who do you think is doing it? They're crimes all over this country being committed by these men that are coming in, and nothing's being said about it. And there's going to be more trafficking and more rapes and more kidnapping, a lot more. You guys are going to be at greater risk than we men are because it's easier for a group of guys to overpower a woman and to overpower a man. Look at the NYPD cop who got his ass beat by these illegals. So we want the border sealed to protect jobs, our communities, and y'all want to get with this pedophile, at least he impresses me as potentially pedo president. Y'all are still up behind people who are erasing the community. And, you guys want to see The Color Purple. Who needed a remake of that shit? Who? Y'all with Fannie Willis. Y'all couldn't tell. You could tell she's a fat girl that bought dick. You could tell. Fannie, come on. Fannie's another word for ass. Fannie Willis looks like Petunia Pig with a weave. You couldn't tell that Letitia James, who looks like the Incredible Hulk with the weave? Huh? Remember Loretta Lynch, the Justice Department person under Obama that looked like Noriega with the weave? Corrupt. They've been using corrupt, weaponized, feminists gone wild to do all kinds of stuff. And now Ilhan Omar, who had on a red thong when I went into the gallery of the Capitol. In fact, she didn't have drawers on. And when she bent up, you could see her thong. And I'm just telling you, she didn't have much of a booty. And the same way she doesn't have much of a following. What I'm saying to you, let me just say it directly. Over the last few years, they've weaponized a lot of black women, they're using them to push all these crazy agendas. If you go to California, it's a bald-headed black woman who says the parents don't have the right to not want their kids to have be on hormone blocking drugs and getting their genitals and stuff cut off. Every time you see someone pushing the most insane shit, it's the black woman Supreme Court justice who can't tell what a fucking woman is. It's the black woman on TV, Joy Reid, that wants kids reading about a man screwing a boy in the behind with a dildo, thinks that's good reading. They keep getting black women who are in the smoke blown up their ass by white supremacy to be against their own people and to attack and antagonize the white majority. That when these people react like the 40,000 truckers that went to the border, this is on its way to being a physical conflict. And I told people many years ago, I had a nightmare. And that's when I started just really talking. I had a nightmare about a group of black women, girls' night, girls' trip or something. They did a road trip. It's just a bunch, we girls. And they went to some part, maybe Idaho or somewhere where I just want to go to Boise. I want to go to the Rockies, right? They didn't want to be anywhere where there were any black men. I get it. I understand. They wanted to go someplace where they could just, be left alone. And they're out and they go somewhere. This is a nightmare I had. And these black women all got killed by a group of racist terrorists. And in my dream, I dreamt about the Greek letter broads and the civil rights movement trying to justify and rationalize and calm people down as to why these women got killed. And there was a woman, I guess, in my dream who couldn't believe that her sorors wouldn't do something. Why and this lady is like tripping because all of these strong black women types, for all of this talk and St. James suits and sushi socials and wine and cheese and this, that, and how smart they are and how many trips they've made to different places in the world, and they've gone snorkeling, and so that nothing was done to protect or save these women. And what ended up happening when this lady and other ladies got mad and they went out and tried to get people to come to their aid, the people in the community were indifferent to them because it says, where have you hoes been all these years? When the cops kill us, you society bitches, you social bitches, y'all don't do anything. That was my dream about 6 years ago. I believe that my dream's going to happen. And I had another dream that was similar. Some divine swine type people on a beach, private beach or somewhere. And they ended up getting shot up by some white racists who targeted them. And these Greek letter people wanted everybody black to get behind them because something bad had happened to them. And it didn't quite go the way that they thought. The so-called black leadership was trying to tell people to calm down and this, that, and the other. And I woke up. I take dreams seriously. My dreams tell me a time is coming where there's going to be a separation. They're going to be the sincere, serious black people. We're going to be able to find each other, and we're going to be separated from the sorry, excuse-making liar black people, the fraud black people, the fake black people. They're going to be a series of events that allow people to know who's what based on what you do and what you say. And the good news, in fact, I will no longer ever worry about. I mean, by the way, shout out to Brother Lone Wolf, the how can I call him, the apostle of of self defense. I'm at peace that we're going to take losses as a community, that there are going to be a significant number of people harmed. There's nothing that can be done to prevent it. Just it's in fact, I'm going to just say it. It comes down to, and yes, I'm going to repeat it. It comes down to God, right and wrong, and a lot of us are in the wrong, and happily so. A lot of us are on the side of darkness. A lot of us on the side of wickedness and degeneracy, and we're comfortable with it. It's like pigs. You know, pigs can be in the mud with their own shit, and they're comfortable. As long as that mud keeps them cool, it doesn't matter what's in the mud. A lot of our people don't mind stuff being terrible as long as, I get some weed, like the average brother, as long as it's pussy and food, they could make it. Sisters, as long as, there's someone to blame for all their problems and that they can have folks to be with and they're distracted. They have more distractions than men do. Um, it's okay. Nothing really gets to them. We're in the midst of all of your things that normally keep you stable. It's and biology, I think it's called homeostasis. The things that allow things to function and live, it's gone. And one of the first places, the last place that tends to change when your homeostasis is gone, is the mindset. An example of homeostasis is the frog put in the boiling pot. The frog, initially, if it's in cool water, it takes a while for it, if it ever does. It keeps adjusting to the temperature going up instead of saying, shit, this water is hot. For us, shit, they're giving everything to people in the country unlawfully. The police can get beaten up and almost killed, and folks not even get charged. In New York, the police are incredible. They've been murdering Black people my whole life in New York for no reason at all and getting away with it. The homeostasis is gone. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to stop. The feminists gone wild, Fannie Willis, the mayor of New Orleans that went on a trip with her boyfriend on public money, the county executive that's been jailed in Charles County, Maryland, Cori Bush, uh, getting private dick with public funds is a stupid idea. Again, Letitia James, I even think they're going to find something on the judge bothering Trump here in DC. There's a lot of corruption. City, they've let a lot of stuff go because they were using these feminists to attack the Black man. And now they feel like they have the Black man where they want him. So they don't need Black pork chop feminists anymore. So if you wonder why so many women are getting arrested or jailed or busted or investigated, it's because they don't need you. And so it's interesting. They've had folks saying, I don't need no man. Well, okay. What can we do with that? I mean, right? Woman's right to choose. What happens when the men don't need you? What happens in the Kevin Samuels era where the white supremacists don't need you? What happens with Project 2025, where they're going to make all the social benefit programs that were created basically to weaponize Black women against Black men as long as they rejected and shunned Black men? What happens when they flip that and they take the Clinton welfare reform policies to another level, where now after telling you you don't need a man and social workers checking under your bed for a man to be there, now all of a sudden you're going to need to have a man, and they need a real man, and they're not going to mean a woman calling herself a man. It's interesting when it gets down to money, all of a sudden they're going to just be two sexes. So your girlfriend's not going to count as a man, no matter how macho she looks. If there truly is a man shortage in the community, who's going to want you? Who's going to want to co-sign for you and your fuck trophies or bastards or whatever you call them, baby daddies, extras? Who? The same person who you went to war with because he didn't have enough McDonald's for the other 15 kids? I mean, start thinking this is coming. If your man's in jail, he can't be the one that helps you get benefits. So you're going to have a man that's not locked up. You're going to have a man that agrees. Who's going to want to be bothered with you to sign the paper and deal with you? And I think a lot of people, if Project 2025 goes through, a lot of folks are going to lose the crumbs that they have because there's going to be.
Hey, brother, Dr. Short. For reference, let people know what Project 2025 is.
Project 2025 is a conservative Republican plan for rebooting working poor and poor America, with an emphasis on, see, people need to understand that the white illegitimacy rate for people who don't finish high school 30 years ago, it was 50%. Half of the white kids whose parents don't finish high school are bastards. That's 30 years ago, so it's probably 60% now. In order to save the family, the white family, they're going to make laws across the board to demand that in order for women to get social benefits, they're going to need to be married. In fact, people need to understand that aid to dependent families and children, AFDC, initially came out of things that go back to the Civil War and it expanded. We call it welfare, but aid to families with dependent children. The whole idea was families. When they wanted to snag up black folks, they changed it to kick the black men out. And it's interesting, black men are gentlemen. Let's just remind you, for all of the black women, all the liar ass black women out there, and there are a lot of you that act as if white men are more liberal, are more kind, more everything than black men are. When white men were at their peak in 1900, I mean, ruling the entire world, could their women vote? The answer is no. When white men had ruled Australia everywhere, white men basically were not doing a lot of stuff for white women. They just didn't. Black men started advocating for black women to have the right to vote, the black abolition, going back to the 1830s. I talk about with almost sit down and think about this. So folks seem to forget black men weren't the ones that held women back. It was white men, white male dominant society denied women. But when you talk to a lot of these blowfish face, rude, overweight, loudmouth, traitor, backstabbing pork chops out here, you would think that black men have just stood in women's way all these years. Really? Who's Madam C.J. Walker? Did black men stop her? Did black men stop Margaret Walker? Did black men stop Bessie Coleman? Did black men stop 3/4 of your black college students right after the Civil War were female? Did black men stop black women from getting an education? You know, black men didn't even get into the universities in consistent numbers with black women until the GI Bill. No other group of men in the world has ever gone as far out of the way to advance their women as black American men have. And black American men get what? We get bullshit and hatred. There's no other group that comes out of slavery and says, you know what, we don't want our women taken advantage of. We want our women to have something other than having to be a maid. Let's send our girls to school and our boys, we'll keep them on the farms. They'll work and we'll protect our girls. That's when patriarchy did. Now we have matriarchy, and it's interesting. You can go to a black campus, and the black females outnumber the men 7-1, 10-1. And you know what? It doesn't bother traitor black women. So wait a minute. You're going to get all of these college educated females, and yet you're not going to look out to make certain that's a commensurate number of educated men that could blend with them. This is on your watch, feminist women, feminist traitor black women. You guys, I mean, what? Y'all are so powerful. This is your epoch. What the hell have you done? Compare that to when black men ran the family. Like almost 90% of the kids had a dad in the home. When black women took over, it went to shit. Right? It's think about when you had matriarchy, where are movements? Where's any change? Show me a boycott start. This hoe's too busy spending money. You don't see no real boycotts. Now, I'm going to give that to you. Rosa Parks, the Montgomery bus boycott was a great idea. And the men and women worked together to do that. But I want to remind again, and that's why the women's studies programs are very toxic. They breed hatred against black men. White men with all the power did not support white women voting. As soon as black men got any political power influence in the Reconstruction governments, they began working to allow women to inherit everything that white men didn't do for white women. And white women don't dare treat white men with the same disrespect that black women treat black men. And black women assume black men have never done anything, right? So it's crazy. And you know what? The people who hate us know that they can tap into this man-hate energy, which is why these illegals get more things coming into this country unlawfully with Kamala Harris's help and others. And what does Kamala Harris and them offer black people, in particular black women? You can kill his baby. She's on a kill black baby tour. Murder black folks. And that's our black sister. Because black women said that this broad who's an Indian is a black American. If black men got behind a white man that was talking about killing black babies, black women would be outraged. In fact, if black men got behind the omnisexual white man who was talking about killing black babies, black women would be outraged. Well, you don't think that Kamala's a freak? I really do believe that Kamala Harris is like Jane. She swung both ways like Tarzan. So you get this degenerate woman who's never had a child, who probably has her own parking space at the Planned Parenthood clinic and where she's living in California, that this becomes someone that people are proud of, that they could literally trot this female around who's jailed black women. Oh, yes, she did. And covered up for black women being killed and captured, which Kamala Harris did. And not a damn peep. And yet, I have to laugh But then again, I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to laugh. I'm going to just say to you that the feminist gone wild, it's over. That's the thing I want to tell you. It's over. There used to be a time that this stuff would last. Now it's over. That's why you see. Uh, by the way, you don't see any of your black female groups talking about all the contracts that are being canceled. The diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff is gone. The affirmative action is gone. A lot of sisters are being fired and riffed all over the country. You know what? You're not hearing anything. You have a black woman head of HUD. She's not saying anything about the record numbers of homeless black women. You have a person in charge of housing in the country is a black woman who's allegedly a stud. So she's really be for women because, they munch carpet. Surely she cares about women. It's a damn lie. Let me just say this. I have never in all my life and all my research found any woman that comes to power that goes out of her way to help women. That's politically elected. That's all of it. It's not how it is. Women that get power do not help women. Fannie Willis screwed the black teachers in Georgia. Lori Lightfoot screwed the black teachers in Chicago. The mayor of D.C., Bowser, has screwed black senior females. Karen Bass in California is doing nothing for homeless black women. Actually, I'm going to just say this to you. Everything good that happened to black people in the last 50 years have tended to happen when you had black male mayors with machines. It has never happened with black women in elected office. Not in Baltimore, not in Atlanta. In fact, when the women get in, they've tended to hand stuff over to the gays, illegals, and whites. You almost never see a city go from a black male mayor to a white mayor, but you might see that in these places. So let me just say this to you. Baltimore, when did the people riot? Black female mayor. DC, when did the people riot last? Black female mayor. In Chicago, when were the people rioting? A black female mayor. Atlanta, when were the black people rioting? A black female mayor. Wake the hell up. When the black women get in there in particular, if they're Greek or whatever, they don't give a damn about anybody but their friends. They're selfish, they're petty, they're catty. They only help a few. That's how a lot of women are as people. And when they go into politics, they're the same goddamn way. Am I saying all women in politics are like that? No. But I've noticed most are. If with 30 plus black women in Congress, if they gave a goddamn about women and children, where's the legislation to protect these women that die during childbirth? In fact, I was in a meeting up in the Capitol. There was a white woman. Black women are disproportionately targeted by trafficking. Do you know not one black woman in Congress would work with the coalition that was trying to get laws passed to protect women from trafficking? Those are all the black bitch politicians in the CBC that y'all are so proud of. Like that Crockett bitch down in Texas that's always tossing her weave and mouthing off at Republicans. By the way, when areas start getting gentrified really, really bad sometimes, it's not just sorry black men. Houston's being gentrified. Who's the long-serving congressperson? Sheila Jackson Lee. DC's being gentrified, the worst gentrification in the country. Who is our congressperson? Eleanor Holmes Norton. Dallas, heavily gentrified. Who was a long-serving congressperson? Eddie Bernice Reagan, or Bernice Ed, whatever. You know, the one that died in her own excrement that the family said. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, wow, wow. And see, we don't have these conversations because normally most black dudes, you know, they just want some food and some ass. Really, we're very basic. So, and because sisters make it such a premium when basically food and ass it's almost like a bread and water going to a restaurant. You don't even have to eat a whole meal. You can walk out. Yes, I mean other cultures. I mean, folks want to be worshipped and taken care of and pampered for the rest of their lives because you can do two basic things. What about multitasking in relationship? Like that includes being loyal, being faithful, being, you know, prudent with money, being a real mother. If you break up, don't poison the kids against the dad. Handle stuff in house, not calling the police to swat the man whenever you can't win a conversation or disagreement. Well, that stuff is over. And it's going to be very, very interesting to watch. You know, I was having a conversation with one of my sister friends. I think she's on here right now. And she told me about this woman that's looks like she's in her 50s. And they said they're kind of cute. Well, kind of means not really. Okay. Never ever tell me about someone that's kind of cute. They're not cute. Kind of is sort of. Sort of means not really. That's one. No, we don't want to talk to women our age. Historically, men who may take a longer time to come into their fortune marry younger women in order to provide a better life for their children, which means they may postpone marriage or they may and they get a younger person. So yeah, she said, well, oh, you're gonna get a young person? Yeah, nigga, I'm gonna get a younger person. When women get young men, it's cougars. It's only bad when men get a woman that they want. That whole lock, this manipulative bullshit that our pork chop feminists are on, that shit's out. It's out. In fact, come on, man. We gotta honor Kevin Samuels. I just want to do this, man.
Well, brother Short, you know we always gotta let you get yours in.
Oh man.
Being the illustrious host of.
And you know what? One thing we didn't talk about. What? Remember that case up in Jersey?
You know what?
What?
Before we go there, brother,
okay.
Dr. Short, we got to honor the Messiah himself.
Okay, well, you know what? Give me 1 second. I gotta get my frankincense. We gotta pour a libation for this, brother. Yes, sir. I need to keep this bottle in here for Kevin.
Well, in the meantime, we got the other brothers on the stage while our gracious host gets his libation to pour out. We got my brother Q from Let's Talk 2. My brother Q. And then I'm going to go back to my brother Lone Wolf. I got my brother Twiz in here. Peace to you. Brother Q.
What's going on, brothers?
What's happening with you?
Hey, man, just going about it, listening to Dr. Short's opening monologue. And, I was sitting here listening to and watching the Sister Comments, Queen WD, where she says she hates feminism.
Yes, sir.
Feminism is here to replace her.
Come on.
More sisters, definitely in their mid-40s, 50s, 30s, need to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's happening is the men are being attacked for taking their place, their rightful place.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
As the true the patriarchy.
That's right.
And remember years ago when they came out with the phrase toxic masculinity, which is nothing but a white supremacy phrase.
Well, I'm a toxicity king.
And
We are toxicity kings.
What our sisters
Amen.
need to, what our sisters
Amen.
need to realize is that a white man in this country don't want nothing from them but to shake their ass on Instagram.
Easy, brother.
Mm.
Go ahead. So talk that talk.
I mean, that's where we really see our women, unfortunately, climbing up the ladder. You gotta go up there.
Or humping up the ladder.
You know, it's funny because you literally see it. They start out, they say they modeling for Fashion Nova and like these type of companies.
Not the Fashion Nova.
They start out. Unfortunately, they start out
wearing
clothes, and the next thing you know, they might have a one piece on, or then have an OnlyFans. It's really sad. It's a trap that unfortunately our women.
Hola, Señor
over and over.
Hernández, ¿cómo está?
These are the same women
Yo está esperando para su respuesta a mis preguntas para usted en Facebook.
This is the type of society
yo estoy muy feliz encontro usted hoy. Hey, my friend from Cuba, Mr. Hernandez. How are you, Mr. Hernandez? I hope you enjoyed the Michael Jackson CDs I gave you when I was in Havana. Yo quiero. Ir para Cuba segunda vez. Ora para mí, por favor.
Why are you trying to take my innate ability away from me? They don't ask women to do that. Well, in some cases they do. So.
But the fact that they can ask is the problem. We let people ask. You wouldn't dare do this to others. I just want to do a shout out. I have a friend named Oscar Hernandez who's in Havana, Cuba. I haven't ever, I'm just saying hi to him. In Cuba, even with everything jacked up, men are still men. Even when you're running out of cooking oil and sugar and bread, a man is a man. We're the only men where your manhood it's transitory and it's situational. It's the same thing as our civil rights. Well, if he's broke, he's nobody. And even when he's rich, you're not happy. You can't wait to divorce him and take his money away from him. We're the only men that accept this. And I have to come back and blame black men for not, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not talking about getting your asshole blown out. I talk to both of you. I talk to a range of very good brothers all the time. I talk to a chef. I mean, I love these brothers. It ain't a sex thing. And because we got a little bit of respect for each other, we can get things done. We live in a culture that has made black male solidarity or our ability to come together deviant. Black male unity is seen as deviant on all sides. Black men that give a damn about each other is deviant. Now, women liking each other isn't deviant. Black men getting along is deviant. In fact, let there be a gang truce. Let black men agree to stop killing each other and watch the FBI, the police, and everybody insist that black men fight and kill each other. Because our, basically, I'm going to just call it, as long as we have this brotherfucker, macho bitch mindset, okay, where we're against one another instead of for one another. And it's hard. I mean, you're always dealing with black men that will stab you or rip off or scam you or game you. I could be, there are people probably scamming me right now I don't know anything about, because we have a culture of basically chicks with dicks. That's what a lot of black men are. They're chicks with dicks. They don't act like men. Every other group, everywhere I've been in the world, and I've been to a few places: South America, Central America, the Caribbean, Africa, the Middle East, Asia, Europe, Australia. All the men have some kind of code where they can work together and support one another. I've uh, the only group of men I've noticed that are always at each other's throats and are catty are Black American men. And it's interesting for all of this. I'm so hard. Like, I see a bunch of cosplay asshole Black men out there saying stuff like, well, man, if I like her, I'm going to raise the other man's 6 kids because a man does that. Bullshit. A simp does it. I even saw these stupid ass Black men, the kind of dudes I hope go to Columbia and someone shoots their ass, that were criticizing men that use pot handles to cook with. Chef, you're a cook. They made using pot handles gay. Chef, you're a cook. Could you cook without pot?
Hold on, brother Short. Don't get me triggered, because listen, I cook a meal and I'll take their wives. Easy. If hate on me all you want. If I ever cooked, you don't have your wife no more.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can make it whatever the hell they want. Just don't let her eat none of my food.
But my point is, you see these Black men fighting over stupid bullshit fake bragging rights online. Like, I don't use a pot holder. So some asshole's gonna get third-degree burns in their hands because they're trying to prove that they're straight. And yet you'll bitch about potholders, but not all these secret societies that everybody respects, where you have all the homoerotic behavior and initiations. That's okay. Just don't use a potholder. And also, I'm a man, so I've met these dudes. They can work, they think they can work with these pork chops. And you know what? A large number of Black men die earlier because they're dealing with a broad who has a mouth like an Uzi or an AK that's constantly bitching and nagging nonstop. And it's killing them. That's another reason we die earlier. It's the people we deal with. My health has improved since I stopped dealing with a couple of females. They're bad for your health. I just learned about a female I did all kinds of stuff for, and they were constantly working against me as I saved their damn life. And it wasn't enough to make them treat me with respect as a Black man. My thing is, now, well, then die, nigga. Uh, nope. I don't take their calls. I'm not gonna take their damn calls. I can't do it. I mean, you can text me, you can send me an email, and you can even say you're sorry, and I'll forgive them. Can we be friends? Like, no, we can't. We can't, right? But we have these types of Black dudes. They're like Lot in Sodom in the Bible. Lot is a dude that was in Sodom who managed to live in a city where they had like gangs of folks, or groups of men that would gang rape other men in town, and that was, I guess, their version of soccer or Monday Night Football. Well, anyway, that's where the first huddle was. Anyway, look, a lot of Black men have gotten used to this feminism, and they think that it's cool because they've been warped. Again, like the frog sitting in the boiling water. Because you can accommodate and endure these highly toxic, negative women doesn't mean you're very manly. What it means is that, you're faggotish. You're weak. If you were really strong as a man, you'd have enough sense to walk away, to get the hell away from a woman that doesn't show you full honor. If you honor her, she should honor you. Like I said, I dealt with this person. They're disrespectful. All of a sudden, fuck, I gotta get out of here. I'm not going to put my hands on anyone. I'm not going to beat anyone. I'm not going to curse anyone. In fact, the best way to hurt a feminist, a pork chop feminist, is to abandon her and don't leave her with the child to remind her of you. because your child will pay for it. Like that woman with the naked kid in the Walmart. And there are a whole bunch of women supporting her. Did y'all see that? The woman who obviously didn't like the father of the child. So you have the baby in a trash bag and a bass cart, and you're hitting the baby with frozen food. That's despicable. Or the other story, brother Chef. Remember the woman up in New Jersey or wherever she was that was screwing the mechanic and they died from carbon monoxide?
Come on, I gotta hold on. Let me mute.
You can put that up there. Share that with them. Oh yes, she did.
She was getting her pipes cleaned.
Well, no, she was getting a tune-up. And
she was getting work up under she was getting some work done up under the hood.
Yeah.
A full service tune-up.
A full service
She
tune-up.
got the catalytic converter clean.
And you know what? And he checked her oil.
Hey, Dr. Short, you mind if I contribute to your spiel, man?
Please. I don't care.
What you're saying is a lot of what I was raised upon. You know, my dad always told me that we are living in a generation of men that's raised by women, so we don't know how to be men. You know what I'm saying? And coming from my generation, Gen X, that come from, I should say, we're victims of the drug era. It's a lot of boys and young men that didn't have fathers to grow up on, so they don't know how to be men. So as I got older, all my dad words started coming into fruition, and as he always said, experience is going to be your best teacher. And as I started going through it, boom. He said something what you said too. He always told me that, boy, one day you're going to come across a situation with a woman to where you're going to have to walk away. He said, you're going to want to hurt her and you're going to want to kill her. But he said, boy, I tell you, walk away. And when that situation came, Dr. Short, I walked away. And you are 100% correct. I walked away scot-free. I didn't put my hands on her, even though it hurted like hell because she swung on me and gave me a black eye. You know what I'm saying? I walked away, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't have no kids by her. And when I heard from her a year later, she was pregnant with her child. You know what I'm saying? We were broke up 7 months, and she was 4 months pregnant with her son. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, as some people say, I got away scot-free.
Well, let me
said earlier.
Let me
I just want to land on this.
Go ahead.
I just want to land on this on what you said. You said your dreams. I trust my dreams as well. You know what I mean? That's how I found out that she was cheating on me because I had a dream she was cheating on me in a Mexican that had a baseball hat, a white T-shirt, and 501 jeans on. The next 2 days later, I caught the motherfucker in the house with her, and guess what he had on? A baseball hat, T-shirt, and 501 jeans. When I walked in the house seeing anything, I fell to my knees. But pay attention to your dreams because your dreams are premonitions of things to come. And I pay attention to. Go ahead, Dr. Short.
Yeah, no, and I was just going to say to you, there are a whole lot of sisters out here. I want to just warn you, brothers, a whole lot of sisters out here that are going to screw these migrants. They're going to screw these migrants. They're going to screw these migrants. They're going to screw these migrants. And when they find out that these migrants are patriarchs, they're all from patriarchal countries, they're going to call black men to get in the middle of fights and other situations because they got a man that they couldn't handle. Please don't help. Tell them, treat that just like you would a black man. Call the police. Call the police.
Me and Chef went through something like that similar.
Call the police. Do not get involved. If you kick the guy's ass, it's a hate crime. And if she has any feelings for him, you know, a lot of these women are situational. 1 minute they want you to beat the guy's ass, then you beat his ass. I didn't want you to beat him that bad. Huh? Black men are gonna have to.
Hey, hold on, brother Short. DW said something y'all not gonna turn down that ass though.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's fine. What these guys need to be clear. For the black men, for the fagonists and the simps out there, The jails, they're building jails for you. Every day we see black men that went in jail 10, 20, 30, 40 years for crimes they didn't commit. The system is set up for you to be gulagged. So if you've got to follow your dick wherever it leads you, you know, you're better off to us in lockup, because there's nothing that you stand for. There's nothing that you get behind. So we don't need everybody to achieve what we need as a community. As much as I hate mass incarceration, as much as I hate all kinds of social injustice, a whole lot of black women who raise these weak ass men, and these men that think that anything that you do to get pussy is worth it. If that is how you live, that's how you die. Live by the dick, die by the dick. That's how I feel about that. It doesn't matter to me. Fagonists and simps, they're the bodies that Brother Juan and I are going to walk over. We're going to walk over you. Do not call me.
Hold on. But that being said, we got to let the wolf speak on this. You got to let the
Dims and wimps.
because the lone wolf has no problem. He's made no qualms about this. Walking over your carcass.
Yeah, and bring your sound up, Chef. Your sound goes down. I don't know what's up with that, but it's gone down.
Can y'all hear me? I think I'm pretty loud over
I can hear you pretty good, but hey, Chef, sometimes it go in and out because
it does.
Here's Dr. Short. That's why I had to drop in and out because Dr. Short kept going out. You know what I'm saying?
Brother Lone Wolf, what say you about these immigrants? This migrant thing is annoying me. People saying migrant, these are
Illegal, sir.
Illegals.
You know, and Brother Juan, you know, a lot of they're gonna have a lot of fucking Anthony Dominguez busting down a lot of black American women getting that green card. You know, we got a lot of simps too. They're gonna finally get the dream of that exotic and get caught up. And she gonna burn his shit off, Brother Lone Wolf. How do you walk over those? You walk over those carcasses too, or you get at that man a hand and tell him to look out for the dangers on the horizon?
Again, I walk over the carcasses. I think, as you guys know, let me give you a scripture. Normally, when I do some things, or when I stand on something, because I'm a follower of the revolutionary Jesus Christ. So I believe we're going to deal with this because, again, so when I look at the situation, I look at two groups: the culture and me as a believer. And when the culture goes array, me as a believer, I must stand 10 toes down on the scriptures. So if I was to stand 10 toes down, I'm gonna go to Exodus, right? Exodus 12 and 37. Yeah. And it says, and the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men beside children. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, in flocks and herds, and even very much cattle. But I want to put emphasis on a mixed multitude, because many of us don't realize that. Why would the scriptures identify mixed multitude? What's the importance of the mixed multitude? Why not just say just the children of Israel? Because the children of Israel didn't mingle, didn't mix with the multitude. They kept their identity. What am I saying? We've been saying for the last couple of years about FBAs or ADOS or native indigenous. We've allowed the mixed multitude to blend in with us. And you can't make a distinction. And that's the problem. That's the problem. It wasn't just us leaving out of Egypt or the children of Israel. It was also a mixture of people, but they maintained their identity. So you folks coming over here and blended in, but yeah, before we deal with that, I'm blaming the elder generation for not protecting the lineage, the bloodline, our culture, and their ability and their desire to make one big Negro tent. One tent. They did not protect all that we built, all that we developed, all the bills that was passed, trying to make us all, trying to make the others, the mixed multitude, one big Negro. I got an issue with that. Because again, we're not supposed to love nobody more than we love ourselves. Okay? And we have perfected the art of loving others more than we love ourselves.
And brother,
ain't nobody got time for that.
We have integrated with them, but they haven't integrated with us. The boomers messed us up.
And so now we're playing catch up. And when I say that I am ready to walk over the carcasses of the traitors, of those who had good intentions, right? Good intentions is not always the best decision. And we're playing catch up. We're trying to circle the wagon, protect those who need to be protected, who have the same mindset. Okay? But we also are identifying the traitors, the treasonous ones. Okay? If there's going to be a civil war, then guess what? It's going to be a civil war. And I welcome it. I literally welcome it. Why? Because, look, we need to have a great reset. Throwing up a balance. But I understand this. There's some people who've been walking the earth, being traitors amongst our people with impunity. And it has to stop. That's why I don't like to have this conversation myself personally, because I'm a do person, not a talker. I'm a doer.
A hands-on man, a man of hands.
You know? So again, if these, look here, if Dr. Short, you put so much on the table, put a lot on the table, but at the same time, I'm ready for whatever. I'm just ready for whatever, man. I'm gonna land this plane with that.
And
I just want to say, screw all you niggas over 40 with hair. My hair better than all y'all. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, 100%, man, because we are in a simp and wimp situation. And Brother Longwolf, this is our first time having a sit down. Shout out to you, brother. I'm a man I go by nature. I follow the laws of nature because I love animals, and as us being beings of that, I follow that. And when I look at things are so out of whack and so out of balance to where it's hard to get a foothold on what's going on right now. That's why I am in this room with 4-5 solid black ass men to where we can come together and come up with solutions instead of complaining about problems. See, that's the difference between men and women. Men know how to make shit happen. Women are emotional and they cry and they look for support. My dad always told me a man can never think with sympathy. He can never aim for sympathy. He can never be emotional, and he can never expect anybody to feel sorry for him, because as a man, that's something that will never come your way. You know, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's going to care. And as Jason Black always say, you are only good as you're a producer. You know, we in a situation right now to where we have to stand 10 toes down, and everybody ain't gonna make it. But just as long as we got us in here, we can come up with some real solid ass solutions, because
this is something that I always talked about. Dr. Short, remember I always told you we need to have to sit down and talk about this. This is something that's long overdue. We need men. We need alpha males.
You know,
we need men that's not men that's more than just a sexual object between our legs. Because I know how to say no. You know, a wise man told me most men get rich when they get in their 40s because that's when they stop chasing women. Man, you know, women are a headache to me right now. I say, hey, I'm like them right now. I say no more than I say yes. And my big piece of the world is I gotta go to work in the morning, so I don't got time. But you know how they say, oh, I got a headache, I'm tired. Mine is I gotta go to work in the morning, so hey, I'll catch you later.
Hey, Chef, see, this brother just did something, and I think it's perfect. Look, I think he's very inspirational. Thank you for being on the call. Look, we need to have a patriarchy conference. We need to have we need a patriarchy conference. We need, I don't know how to put it together, but between, I mean, we got Chefs knows one thing. We can have a patriarchy conference. In fact, because I'll tell you, I'm kind of tired of I mean, I'm not trying to attack the manosphere, but it's
say it.
All of this
constant need to be said.
Constant
say it.
Constantly
because these weak ass, sensitive ass, emotional, henpecked, skirt riding ass niggas, they need to be told the truth, man. You know, like they said, you can't make an omelet without breaking an egg, Dr. Short. We need to start going hard, man.
Well, no.
I know in your time and my time, they didn't have no sympathy for us.
No.
The elders didn't have no sympathy for me.
No.
My dad always told me, boy, if you don't believe me, go out there in them streets. If somebody don't want to listen, go out in them streets. Ain't nobody harder than them streets. Them streets gonna make a man out of you. And that's what a lot of these people need. Dr. Short, we need to take the click gloves off, man. It's survival of the fittest right now. I'm with you 100%.
Well, we need a conference, and we also need ultimately an organization that, and how that's put together, that needs to be. We need a patriarchal organization. One of the key things that it needs to be holistic, right? And I'm not trying to be funny. For example, there should be a whole thing around law. Like, for example, if you were getting messed with by the family at law court, there should be a network wherein one can contact an attorney. Like, I have friends who have a problem. We reach out to my friends that have been through divorce, and we try to counsel people. Like, Chef, I need to get my guy in California on your show. He's got a child by this broad who's fucking a Mexican. Yes, I said it like that. In Mexico. And he's paying child support from California. How can you take child support? He can't see his own child.
Dr. Short, I'm in California and I just fought that system. What do you need? I'm up here in the Bay Area and I just fought that system and I'm fighting them again because I paid them off in 2020. They still telling me that I owe them in 2024 and I called them. They said, you don't owe nothing. I'm like, well, why when I check my credit score, I'm getting late payments in 2023. So yeah, if you need me, I'm here for it because I've been dealing with these up here in Alameda County.
Can you email me? My email's all over the place.
I'll send it to you. I get it from Chef.
And so and all I'll say to you is to meet the guy who's in LA. You know what I think is happening? Because it happened to me. You know, when I was applying to get health insurance, we've got, this really happens to Black men. You apply for something and somebody gave me 3 children and put them under my name. Mind you, I had to send in copies of my passport, everything, to verify who I was. They modified my name a little bit, and then they gave me 3 children. Had I not caught that, I could have gotten arrested for being delinquent in child support, and I have no children, as much as I love children. Which meant, and I know this happens, you've got, sometimes these women are white, sometimes they're Latina, and sometimes they're Black women, and they target Black men within these bureaucratic jobs. And who would believe that someone would do that? but they do. And you end up, I was thinking, where the hell did you get 3 kids with 3 different last names as mine? I never said a thing about any children, wife. Where the hell did you get that from? And it was a scandal. So somebody wanted to put, and that way, if they had made these kids mine, they would have been entitled to benefits and all kinds of stuff off of me if I hadn't checked. There are a lot of brothers, they don't pay attention to stuff. And then one day you could find yourself with the bench warrant for not paying child support for children you know not. By the time you get to the court, man, why are you gonna man up? You've never paid child. Of course these kids are yours. And if they weren't yours, why'd you wait so long? It's all, we're the only men that allow this to happen to each other. And that's when the first places.
Thank you, Hillary Clinton. Thank you, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, we have to go to war with child and family services. If you ever look at people who work as social workers, they're almost exclusively, if they're black and male, they tend to be gay, and they're people outside of our community that handle our children. And these courts, I mean, you have. I've been to family law. All the folks are studs. Their job is to destroy a black man when he gets in there. It doesn't matter how good a father, none of that means anything. They're going to run you through the ringer. I have a cousin right now who's been divorced from his first wife for over 30 years. Do you know he's still paying her $1,500 a month every month, 30 years later? She's still working and remarried.
Oh no.
And these kinds of things. But you know what? The black men, I'm going to just say this to you. There was a case out west where some Latino men were in a meat packing factory and they wanted more money. They all, in the country unlawfully, went on strike and got their wages raised. This happened to you, Lone Wolf. When you took on your former employer, weren't you alone? There are people who knew everything you said was true. That real men stand on principles. Real men will take some hell for another righteous man. We're not like that. We tend to say, you know what? That's your problem, even though it could happen to me. As long as it doesn't happen to me, I don't care about what happens to you. So we're the only men that actually, the way we address problems is very feminine. We do things like women. We scatter or we fall apart. We do not coalesce as men and say, I don't want this happening to anybody. There's a baseline that we all must have. This is not how we function, but this is where this conference and a group, even if we just target 2 things like access to credit or something, my brothers, I do not have all the answers. I don't even have an answer, but I do know if enough of us get together, we could target one place or 2 places and say, this is going to be our project. We're going to do something. We're going to talk to black farmers and target a way for us to have green grocery stores in every neighborhood where we can. We got Claude Anderson still alive. We could do this as patriarchs. By the way, women can be an auxiliary. We don't want sisters in our paint. We got to have some stuff for ourselves.
I always said if there's 4 seats at the table, there's 4 men supposed to be up there. There ain't supposed to be 3 men and a woman there. Women have no seat at women have no seat at a man's table. And this is what we got right here. We got 5 men in this room. This could be the spark that sets the fire. So whatever you need from me, we can get it going right now.
Right.
I've been talking about this and we can get this shit going.
You're in Oakland. Have you heard of Project Cypress Mandela?
Yes, I grew up right there. I remember I was there when the freeway happened, when the freeway crashed. If you look at the video I did with Chef C, we did a video right there.
Okay, well, look.
They put the UEP Manu right there. And the Cypress Project is right down the street from where we was at.
Well, the Cypress Mandela Project, there's also one that teaches people job skills.
Yes.
Okay, well,
let me interrupt you guys.
I want to say this because I'll be done. My friend is a director of Cypress Mandela in Oakland. I'm done.
Yes. Small world. Go ahead.
I think that we need to modify that word men and start just calling guys or people males. See, we have an example in the scriptures about what a man is. You know, I keep saying this, and I read it the other day on another broadcast that even if you don't subscribe to the Bible or the Quran or Judaism, when the Lord blessed the father of the faith, Abraham, he instructions on why he blessed him man-wise, not male-wise. He said, should I hide from Abraham that which I want to do for him, seeing that he's going to, number one, to his household, to his children. We are in the situation right now because we have not given instructions. We literally not given instructions. Even to the women to rule, but God said, I'm going to bless Abraham because he's going to give instructions to his household, man, his children. So we need to stop throwing this men tied around so frivolously. We got a lot of males out here. We ain't got a lot of men out here. Males are not responsible. Men are responsible. Males try to get around being responsible and doing the right thing. God blessed Abraham because he gave instructions first. It said nothing about him protecting and providing. We have not given instructions. For whatever reason, we're afraid to give instructions. My no's are no's, my yeses are yeses. The children, to the wife, and anybody under my wingspan. So we gotta stop calling these men, and call them males.
I got a better man for you. You hit the nail on the head because this is how we know we all in here because we saying shit that we've been saying. These ain't males, they're lost boys. You know, we gonna call them lost boys because they lost because they don't have a clue what it is. You know what I'm saying? A man is responsible, a man is reliable, a man is accountable. That's the whole thing. And the greatest thing about a man, a greatest attribute that we men have is that we're nurturers. We can build, we can make whatever it is that we got, we can make it better. If not, we can fix it. And that's the best thing about it. You don't know, dude, I got so many friends right now that don't know how to work with these, that can't work with their hands, that don't have no skills. The only thing they know how to do is count money. But after that, if you give them a wrench or a screwdriver, they don't know what to freaking do. You know what I mean? You are 100% correct. Because I always tell these young dudes, and please don't take this the wrong way, but it's like being in a relationship. How could you expect your woman to know you if you don't teach her? You know? How do you expect somebody to know you if you don't introduce yourself to them? You know? Nobody's going to know you. And if you're going by expectations, you're going to always be lost. You're always going to be searching for what you said right there was 100% correct. You got to teach people. But the cold part about it, the 100% thing, though, a person has to know what he wants. And a person has to know what he is. And once you solidify with that, then that's that old school saying, you got one to grow on. And that's where it all falls back to where we got these lost boys out here who don't know who they are. And if you ask them this $1 million question, what do you want? They're gonna be like they watching a Jeopardy episode. They don't know. And you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct, book. And I drop my mic on that. You know what I mean?
I want to put this on the record. I want to put this on the record for posterity, because we're trying to solve the problem in our community without God. You can't do that. Seeing that Abraham should surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth should be blessed in him. For I know that he will command his children and his household after me, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken. He said this again. He cannot keep God, the equation, the problem. If you listen to all these platforms, right? Talking, but just because you got a mic, you need an audience. It should determine that you need an audience. Especially, I rarely hear the sisters mention anything about God. That brings me to the conclusion. That brings this.
Easy on the wolf.
Oh, I'm going all in. I'm going all in.
Come on, look. You gotta be cool. You gotta be cool, man. I mean, I heard all gas, no brakes, but at least jump on. You in the freeway, you don't gotta be in the fast lane, the slow lane, but at least do the speed limit. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't gonna be able to catch up, if you know what I mean.
I believe with everything in my bones, down to the white blood cells, the red blood cells, down to the atoms, that we get a generation of women do not like it. You don't. You don't like God. You don't like man. Because you gotta realize this, that man was God's first creation. If a man can't tell you nothing, please don't tell me you take your instruction from God. I don't bring me here any of these podcasters or sisters in the church talking about God. Except for Jesus taking the wheel after they done made a mistake. Okay? So for us to get back in alignment, we must not be afraid to give instructions to our children, to our household. That's number one. We get to say no and yes. Because again, they resist instructions. You know, I mean, we don't talk about this God like we should, but man, we're trying to solve an equation. Getting that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Okay? I'm gonna have my plate on that.
Hey, hold on, before we go back to the illustrious. Listen, I see what type of energy y'all on tonight, fellas. I see what's going on here. But we got my brother.
This black man in this motherfucker. And
We
this
got
is
the Negro on the stage.
we need to mark this on the calendar, man. February 1st, as it's Black History Month. It's 6 black men in here kicking in the motherfucking door. We ain't knocking on that door. We kicking in this motherfucker. You understand me? Yes, indeed.
Hey, California brother, what? California brother, what's your name? People on my platform want to know what your name is. People are loving all this.
Check this out. Check this out, man. I'm a grown man, so I'm gonna introduce myself as a professional. My name is. Well, I may have some people in here that be haters and scammers and stuff like that, but I'm Twizzle, official as a referee's whistle. I'm from Oakland, California, West Oakland, California, born and raised ever since my first day, you know. and I'm a real man. I've been a culinary artist for the past 27 years, and I've switched the game up. I'm a real estate investor now, so I've been buying and selling houses, and I've been learning a whole new game, and I learned how small and minuscule we are in the real estate game. As I do my dollars and dollars doing everything, half of California is owned by China. And people are mad. It go back to what we said before, but that's me. I'm Twizzle on here, and I'm a real one. A lot of people agree, a lot of people disagree, but hey, I'm here for the movement. I'm here for the cause, and I don't really have much to say. I'm happy to be here with Dr. Short.
Oh,
I'm
God.
happy to be here with my brother Wolf. I'm happy to be here with Chef C, the G, and I'm happy to be a part with this because, as they say, man, it's something I've been calling for. So hey, be careful for what you ask for, so you just might get it. And I got it, and I'm ready for it.
Okay, well, we need you. We cut someone off. Forgive me, Chef. I apologize. Someone was going to talk. Go ahead.
We all in this. So I'm about to mock.
Let me get my brother, the Negro, the commander is in the building right now, sir. What say you about the conversation, brother Grand Negro, Commander Negro Knight yourself, sir? Say you, sir.
I think it's a much needed conversation, and I really do appreciate just seeing a lot of brothers here kicking it, chilling, and then talking about things from our perspective and our view about how we want to uplift our community, support our community, how we want to change the direction of our women, to make us love on us, so we can actually grow and build a much stronger and powerful nation. So, I really do support conversations like that with a lot of great men. So, especially men from our lineage, that matters. It matters when Black men come together, Negro men come together, share intellectual ideas, and build empires, build businesses, take over. That's something that we really just need to do. Just take the land. And what I mean by take the land, take everything that was stolen from us. Mm-hmm. We're gonna just take it over and bring it back home, because like Dr. Martin Luther King said, we're gonna come get that check, man. We're gonna get that check.
Right.
Real talk. Hey, pause. We finna start right now to this day. When it come down to Martin Luther King, we finna get rid of that I have a dream shit. We finna start coming with the we coming for our check. Everybody want to bring up Martin Luther King. Okay, since you want to bring him up, we gonna show y'all this. Next time we do our campaign in Washington, we are coming for our check. And that's going to be our motto. Not only that, that's going to be our battle cry.
And sir, this is why I say MFM. By the way, I haven't said that the whole show. MFM, everybody. MFM to you, Brother Twizzle. I want that to be a concept. We need our MFM. We need our motherfucking money. That's reparations, that's contracts, that's procurement. We want our share of this country. So that's right. It's a debt owed. You aren't doing me a damn favor. We need our motherfucking money. And for those who are so religious, if Mahalia Jackson, Saint Mahalia Jackson can say she wants her motherfucking money, I'm my favorite gospel singer. That's my inspiration. It was a Black holy woman who came up with the concept of motherfucking money. And she launched it in church. This is from the Black church. It's from the Black church experience. So put the word motherfucking money in your mouth, in your mind, in your soul. And if enough of us, because I'll tell you, reparations it sounds like preparation H, reparations, but motherfucking money, that sounds serious, like you're going to get it. So, I'm going to have to do, in a little bit, I got to do Bible study. Yes, I'm religious, and we're reading the book of Ezekiel, and it's incredible. I want to challenge anybody, in particular, I'm going to say this to y'all because I have to do this. The basis of the Black men overrunning the Confederate Army in the South, most people don't know that all those military units, those guys would pray before they'd go into battle against the white folk, the Confederates. I mean, a lot of people talked about a whole bunch of stupid religious concepts, and I'm sorry. The Black men, the sable arm of the Union Army was a black Christian male endeavor. Okay, the very first unit of black men organized to raise guns to shoot at people for our freedom was initiated by Henry McNeil Turner, a AME black minister who would be on the battlefield. Okay, there's a combination between spirituality and warfare. A lot of our folks have been psyched out by our faggotized preachers like Take Dick's Jakes. I really, I've been doing a lot of genealogy, y'all. I actually have popes in my family. I've learned. It's blowing my mind. My mind has been, I, I can't, sometimes I can't sleep at night over the stuff that I've learned about who uh, my people have been over time. When I say to y'all, there's a lot of you, it's not just me. How many of you guys realize that some of you are the descendants of King Charlemagne, the black king of almost all of Europe, is some of our grandfathers? He's mine. He's probably yours too. That's mind blowing.
I know about Charlemagne.
Yeah, but Charlemagne has black descendants because Charlemagne was black.
Yes, he comes from the Mediterranean.
Charlemagne's black. Charlemagne is like my 35th grandfather, if not 40th. Okay, and what did he have? He had the Holy Roman Empire. There's a correlation between having spiritual principles and having kingdoms and having power and having authority. I meet a lot of black males. The only thing they believe in is their dick. I meet a lot of black women. They say they're spiritual. They only believe in what they're shaking their ass or spreading their legs can get.
Oh no.
We as a people are in the situation that we're in right now because we hate God. When you hate God, you kill babies, you abuse babies, you neglect babies, you break up families. Ungodly, wicked people, you can tell. Drug abuse, suicide, it's all indices of a people who've lost connection to the Creator. A lot of Negroes think they can skate off of their great grandparents' prayers and shit. It's over. The only hope that we have is for us to rediscover our moral ethical core, which is in God. Whether you like Hamas or not, whether you understand, look at how those dudes, no matter how many of them they kill, bomb, they're fighting every day. Our struggle here doesn't even require the same sacrifice, but we're so deviant. We're not able to kick in the door to get our damn check. The fact that we're bankrupt and broke in the richest country in the world, we understand people hate us, but we also hate ourselves. The thing I'm learning that's really rocking my world, people, as I do my own genealogy, do you know it's a lot of black people that were Moors, the descendants of Moors? They were the ones that led the slave trade. People who didn't see other people who were black as brothers and sisters. I'm Dutch, I'm English, I'm Scottish, I'm Irish. If you get into the history now, I'm beginning y'all have no idea how Dr. Winters, all of y'all are ruining my whole comfort zone. That black people who civilized Europe also fought all the damn time and ultimately lost power to these other people. Us being petty, us fighting and not sticking together and actually running after white pussy, which we've been doing for 2,000 years, hasn't empowered us. Although it feels good, the long decline does feel good, but it hasn't empowered us. We need God. All of those black cities and towns, if you really get into them, the core of them were always the spirit, the common shared beliefs and values. Mound Bayou, Mississippi, everywhere you go, you'll always find that there's some concept of shared values, beliefs. I'm going to tell you something. These pork chop feminists don't have any shared values. These fagonists. A fagonist is a feminist simp. I mean, I don't know if you've ever dealt with a black man. He's always on the woman's side, no matter what. You can be somewhere, and a woman. I mean, you don't. A woman can say he did something, and he's ready to fight you. He doesn't even know who you are, and it's like.
Chef C, did that sound like anybody we know?
We got a lot with the fagonist. I mean, I've worked job. I mean, right now, I think I'm dealing with 2 fagonists. I ain't dealing with them no more. I don't want. If you're a fagonist, get the hell out of my life.
Oh no.
To me, I'm gonna just tell you, it's in the scriptures. The scriptures say all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Everybody's got a whole lot of mess to work on, men as well as women. In the black male fagonist culture, they women. They demonize all men. They demonize all men, and all women are goddesses. And by the way, it gets a lot of women, they need to understand when you deify a woman and she's screwing you, you think you're a player. No, let me explain it to you. When you deify women and they screw you, you're engaged in pagan Baal worship. That used to be where in the old pagan religions of fertility cults where they worship the vagina, the penis, and so forth, which is basically a continuing religion. Black folks right now are into Baal worship. It's a worship of the dick and the pussy.
Oh no.
I mean, so they're not Christian. You may go to church, and the biggest holes are the people in church. What I'm saying to you is that when the woman screws you, when you deify her, that's like a temple prostitute. The old temples that you see when they dig them up all over the world, the Middle East, they had women who would screw people. You would come in, call them goddess, prophetess, you bring them something, and they'd screw you. And of course,
nobody got time for that.
And you know what they would do? Once she was pregnant, you aborted the baby for people to have better lives. How many professional black women have murdered children so they could hold on to a good job? That's Baal worship. That's Satan worship. So in a nutshell, it's maybe half of the sisters out there are Satan worshipers. If you're for killing babies for personal advancement, your body, your choice, it's not your damn body when it's a separate baby. This is so strong, the witchcraft in our community, practiced by women and men. This is why we're in the situation that we're in. Black folks need a moral, ethical reformation. And Steve Harvey and all these other people who are pussy worshipers, that's all you see. You'll never see black men and black women that stand on their square with any kind of principle anywhere. It's not tolerated. I'm going to tell you, I would tell anybody, being a student at Harvard, and I'm not worshiping fuck Harvard, but I'm going to say this to you. They wanted to deny me my degree. They tried to get me to denounce the Bible and Jesus Christ in order to get my degree.
Oh no.
Literally, this is what you'll learn. Once you begin to try to go up, for all of you folks and all your little stupid religions and cards and yoga and all this stupid shit that you're on, they're never going to ask you to give up yoga or cards or weed or any of that. The only thing that they ask, or even when you advance, they want you to get rid of the fundamental Christian values that have people. They want you to denounce you. For Harvard, I was asked basically to denounce God, Jesus Christ, and the Bible in order to graduate. After I'd done the work, bills paid, everything done, what they really wanted me to do was repudiate God to cross over. I'm telling you, this actually happened to me. And
Oh,
what
no.
I want to let you guys know is I told a white gentleman, hey chef, y'all don't realize this. This is why I'm going to start doing it. You want to make the system angry here. You want to be a revolutionary, a rebellious person. Be a Nat Turner Christian. Be a Henry Highland Garnett Christian. The abolitionist movement was a black, patriarchal, militant movement of Christians who were practicing the real shit, not the take Dick's Jake's shit. That's fake. I could tell Take Dick's Jake was. I could tell he's queer the first time I saw him. All the this, you could almost imagine cum dripping down his beard. Nah, to hell with that. I want to say to you that I repeat, literally, after spending all the money, all the time, all the research, all the papers, all of that, passing my Portuguese language exam, what they really wanted me to do at Harvard is denounce Jesus Christ, the Bible, and Christianity to finish. And before this system rudely and crudely cut me off, I said to him, as we sat for 20 minutes, they really thought I was going to have second thoughts, that I wanted these white people's degree more than I was willing to stand on my square for the God I'm supposedly believing in. And I looked over to Dr. David Hall, former professor at Harvard, and I says, as a black Southern man, tell that white Northern man, to a white Southern man, tell that white Northern man, I said, go to hell, he can fuck himself. I'm not, I will not denounce God. I will not denounce God for a white man. And you know what? And this is what you black folks need to learn. The white gentleman, the tenured professor, had to tell the white gay dude, sign it. When they realized that absolutely, I told them, I couldn't give a damn if you don't give me this degree. It's just Harvard Divinity School, you atheistical asses. I'm Pentecostal. Nobody respects this school.
Dr. Short, ask you a question.
So let me just finish. He signed it. Look at all your rappers and everybody else, all your black politicians. They betray what they know is right for advancement. That is what black success is for the people that help oppress you. Go ahead, Brother Twizzle.
In my time, it was called selling out. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm just asking a question. When they trying to like, have you boxed in there, you just wanted to kick their ass. You know what I mean? 'Cause I know you were
So,
real.
well, I'm not a kick your ass type person physically. I won. I basically told them go to hell. They couldn't believe it. I mean, all this money, you talking about $100,000, and you told them to go screw themselves. Of course. Now imagine, sir, I'm learning one that people in my family started Oxford University. We black folks come from greatness because we come from God. We don't have to kiss anyone's ass. It's a choice to have other people's shit on your lips. And I'm going to tell you this, and I got to go to Bible study. I'm going to say this very plainly. All my life, I've always felt good about who I was. But I feel like I'm alien in a sea of self-hating, despicable niggas who have thrown the game to the other side. We could have been free a long time ago if so many of us were not unbelievers in our inevitable restitution. Most of you don't believe in anything. You don't believe in freedom. You don't believe in justice. And that's why black folks are always in escapism. Comedians, sports, everything. Even now the basketball guys are throwing more balls off court than in court. We worship all the things that steer us away from facing reality, finding like-minded people, and freeing our asses from this nightmare with God's help. So I see all these Negroes in the yoga. People in the tarot cards, burning sage, Satanism, even the music, everything is terrible. We've betrayed God. We've betrayed family. We've betrayed 20 million aborted babies. We've betrayed family. We betrayed God. And that is why, trust me, any people who don't have a God or a dominant deity that they subscribe loyalty to, there's certain countries that are Catholic countries. There's certain things you expect from people from Catholic countries. Black people have no consistency anymore because we don't have a God anymore. We once did. And I'm going to say this. If any nigga comes on here talking about science, which is disgusting. I had a disgusting person on here the other day talking about science. Same scientist said that black folks are apes. Same scientist said that black people are intellectually inferior to whites. Same white scientist said we have no history. Same scientists say that black folks have smaller skulls. Black folks have tails. Black folks don't need as much medication. What science saying that the jabs would help us. Science has done a lot of evil, and it changes by the generation. Science, eugenics is science. Racial hygiene is science. Whose science and why? So please don't come on this thing talking to me about some damn science. How dare you? How dare you compare us talking about the Most High and comparing it to the Catholic Church, which in reality, my friends, when you're into the little Baal worship and all this other kind of stuff, and when you're worshiping queens, well, they have Mariology in Catholicism. You're basically a Catholic that doesn't know it. A whole bunch of you guys are in. That's why the Pope is gathering everybody into one world religion where people worship Baal and the Queen of Heaven, Mary. And so black folk, y'all into Lucifer worship. And I'm going to tell you, if you've read the Bible, all you Negroes claim to be Hebrews and everything else, why would people be persecuted? Because they worshipped everything but the Most High. And that's why the Most High let everybody kick him in the ass. When illegals come here and are treated better than us, isn't it an indication that anyone can come here and be ahead of you? That's spiritual. None of this makes sense. I talk to people all over the world. Nobody can understand this because it is not physical. We're in the situation that we're in right now. We're being judged. We're being judged by the Most High God for becoming wicked. We knew better. I'm not talking about some religious real estate, some fake ass preacher. You know that murdering someone is wrong. You know stealing is wrong. Sure you do. And if you don't know, you're part of the problem. And if you do know and you don't do better, you're part of the problem. If you do know and you don't speak up, you're part of the problem. Our people will have a 360-degree change if we rediscover God. The reason that I can get 4 or 5 or 6 men to work together is, one, I'm not trying to be TD Jakes with them or bother their women or steal their money. Some of the reasons that we can't come together is because we don't follow the commandments. We don't, and that's a black thing. For all you fake ass Pan-Africanist liars out there, on one hand, they'll tell you Jesus is black. Then they'll tell you the Bible's a white man's book. Then they'll tell you the Hebrews. Fuckers, y'all all over the place. You, but they don't want to follow any of the rules for the Hebrews or the Israelites. I mean, which is what the Bible talked about: degenerate, fagotized, studitized, paganistic Hebrews who didn't want to acknowledge the God, didn't want to respect or like each other, were enslaving each other, raping each other, molesting each other. If that book is ours, it's telling us, clean this shit up. And you can't clean it up with tarot cards, weeds, deviant sexuality, drinking, trying to be like everybody else. You got to have a conversation with the man upstairs. We've become a godless people. Even the Japanese, the samurais, the kamikazes, before they blow themselves up, they go and see their Shinto gods. These Hamas people are chanting Allahu Akbar. They're calling on their God to help them. Who the hell do we call on when we're outnumbered like the Hamas people are? Who do we ask for intervention when the whole world is giving weapons to Israel to take them out? How do they keep fighting when the best armies in the world with very little to work with? We don't even have the same degree right now of a problem that the Palestinians do. But if we continue in the way that we are, we're going to get treated worse than the Palestinians. It's already moving that way. In fact, whether you like Hamas or not, and I'm not giving a promo for Hamas, but Hamas is it started out at least as a religious organization. There's a correlation between religion, belief system, and warfare, and manhood. A godless manhood doesn't exist. A godless people don't exist. We're always going to be like this as long as we're too big for our own damn spiritual britches. And I meet all these people, I'm spiritual, I don't like, and you know what? That same person that's spiritual doesn't have any regard for family, for paternity, for any of that. We used to have that. In fact, the basis of law and society everywhere in the world comes from the sacred. The religious realm makes everything the same way God made everything. So as for you that don't know right from wrong, the reason that we're jammed, the reason that the cops are in our neighborhood, the reason that we don't pool our money or respect each other is because we don't give a damn about the second commandment to love neighbor as self. We're supposed to look out for each other. It's the baseline. And everybody else in the world knows that they can start a business in our community because we won't buy from each other. We won't trade with each other. We won't respect each other. And if you don't respect one another, I don't care what you call yourself, you don't really believe in God. I've got to go to my Bible study, but I want this absolutely clear. Black folks need a moral, ethical revolution. And by the way, I can't wait. The Black church is a ruin. And one of the biggest problems in the church now is female leadership and feminized men. There's something about, I don't know what it is, but there's some stuff on the female side that doesn't like any rules. I don't know what the hell it is, but I see it. And I'm not saying that you can't do stuff, but I'm just going to say this to you. We need a reformation. Negroes need to repent. We've murdered too many of each other. We've robbed and cheated too many of each other. We've abused too many of each other. We've abandoned. Our biggest crime is what we've done to one another. God's mad. And you know what? When people hate one another, it invites other people to hate yourselves, hate us too. We've invited all of this disrespect. This is Dr. Randy Short from the Angry Black Men's Book Club signing off. Please like this. Share this with people that you don't like. My best followers are people who can't stand me. And I love doing this because it pisses off, in particular, all the Luciferians out there that are going to hell, which they are. I can't wait. Support this channel. You know how to do that. I'm at $ Dr. Randy Short. That's the Cash App. My Patreon is Dr. Randy Short. My Zelle and PayPal are wrandyshort@gmail.com. You can too support this. No donation is too small. No donation is too large, but you should help us out. We will be doing more. I want to thank Brother Twizzler, Brother Negro, Brother Quentin, Chef C, and of course, Lone Wolf. We're going to do this again. I also want to let you guys know that we're going to be doing, God willing, Wazi Speak tomorrow, where me and the righteous black women and we love you, Wazi, you wonderful black women, the good black women, the ones that aren't twerking and killing babies. We love you. You are our natural partners. We're going to protect and help with you, and you help us build. I want to thank all the sisters. I want to thank Miss Thompson in Texas last year, who blessed me with such a large gift. I want to thank the sister in California who doesn't want her name said that blesses. There are a whole bunch of sisters that are Wazis that help Dr. Short. Dr. Short sometimes gets more help from sisters than he does from brothers, because a lot of brothers are all in their feelings like little girls when you tell them the truth. Your penis is an instrument for love, procreation, and stabilization of a people. It isn't a joystick. It's not a fire poker. Your seed is given by God. It doesn't belong up inside of everybody, and it definitely doesn't belong in a man's jaws or in another man's ass. I don't care how good it feels, how long you've done it. Our people need to get off of deviant living. I want to say to you, every empire collapses due to deviance. Our people cannot rise overwhelmed by deviance, perversity, degeneracy, and sin. We can't overcome racism, the tethers, and everything else, and us be completely debauched. It's like a person high on crack trying to fight for the world heavyweight championship. We cannot sustain as a people being as vulgar, degenerate, and pathetic. Or we're different strokes for different folks, where we basically are relativists. Well, an ass is a pussy's an ass, a mouth is a pussy, right? All of this stuff. There is no gender dysphoria. I don't give a damn if you don't like it. God made man and woman. He didn't make anything else. Everything else is wrong. Period. Get over it. And yes, you should send me a donation. Y'all been funding no good black celebrities and everybody else. Y'all should make it rain on some of us that are telling the damn truth. I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here.
You have a Cash App?
Yeah, my Cash App is $.
Is it on your profile?
Oh, yes, it is. Dr. Randy Short.
I got you.
Yeah, treat me like I'm white, and we have to treat each other like we white.
Each one teach one. The skill short the skill, man. And you giving everybody precious metal up in here, man.
So
you don't have to do what you're doing right now. What you're doing, I appreciate your time, because time is valuable. I appreciate you, Dr. Short, and I'm finna shoot you something right now.
Thank you. Y'all send something.
You know what I mean?
Send something, and we will. I know it's taken a second. I went off doing genealogy, but imagine to find out Napoleon Bonaparte's your cousin. Damn. Not that I like Napoleon.
Napoleon Bonaparte used to be one of my favorites.
Well, look.
So I learned he shot off the face of the
Sphinx.
Once I learned he shot off the face of the Sphinx. Once I learned he shot that face off, that's when I was like, fuck Napoleon.
Yeah, Napoleon was self-hating. He's self-hating.
Yeah. You know why? He hated himself because he was dark-skinned. He was born in Corsica, south of France.
That's
and they
right.
were Sicilians. They were dark-skinned. So when he was growing up, they used to call him the black boy, and he hated that shit.
Yeah,
That's why he hated it.
and he got dumped by a black woman. So that's some Clarence Thomas blowback. So I'm done with my genealogical project. I'm going to focus back on some books, but I had to do that. But I want to say to everybody, MFM to you, and please support Chef C. Please subscribe to the Lone Wolf Firearm channel. We've got a brother that can teach you how to protect yourself at a price your pocketbook can swallow, even if your pocketbook looks like TD Jakes. Please listen to Let's Talk to. This brother should have 2,000 followers. He needs more people. Chef C on their necks. I mean, if you have parties or whatever, this brother can do it. We all pull together. Brother Twizzle, I want you to meet my friend at Cypress Mandela. My email is wrandyshort@gmail.com. It's very, very easy to write me, provided it's not something stupid. I would like to see us come together, and I want everybody to pray for each other, man. This is going to be an incredible year. I want to do a shout out to somebody that let me down. In case you guys didn't hear, y'all remember Joe Madison? He just passed.
What?
That's okay. God bless him.
Didn't he have a serious show?
Yeah, he had a serious. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, that's okay. We'll have a conversation offline about that. I knew Joe Madison and helped build Joe Madison's career. A couple of things that he got on. So I just want to say Joe Madison's gone, but you're looking at the face of the person that introduced him to Gary Webb. If you remember all that with the cocaine.
I remember Gary Webb.
Yeah, well, I got Gary Webb with Joe Madison, all that stuff about cocaine coming into California. I'm the initiator of the protest. It's okay. I gotta toot my own horn sometimes.
Dr. Short, man, you have a good night, man. It was a privilege and an honor to have a sit down with you.
Well, it's an honor to meet you too.
Wait, before you leave, I want to announce something. I want to break something for your family because in honor of Black History Month.
Yes, Black History Month, everybody.
Yes, and also Negro History Week, because, I am a Negro. One of the things that I want to make you guys aware of is that we have a Raise Our Flag campaign, and I would like our brothers to definitely delineate on Black History Month and also Negro History Week with our heritage flags. We should be posting it out the windows. We should be displaying it on our vehicles and let people know what time it is. Let them know who we are and what we all about. Like DMX, they know who we be.
I heard that. I'm late. I'm on my Saints time. And so, it was wonderful being here, able to.
You have a good night.
Yeah, able to talk to y'all and put in a few cuss words because we love cussing. Well, no, we don't love, but it works. It's the language of the ordinary people. I want to let all of you go. Let me see, how many do I have? I've got 45 people here, and how many? I don't know how many are on this channel here, but I got about 50 people. I got to check out here, but I want everybody to know that this is a new season of the Angry Black Men's Book Club. I want everybody to check out that show we did with Claude Anderson. It's a classic. We will be doing more. Also, Sister Sean's not here. Anybody that wants to hear good radio on Saturday needs to listen to Sankofa Radio and listen to Sister Sean's show. We are going to do more, so get ready. And for all of you, say a prayer for what we're trying to do. I'm waiting for new sound equipment, and I'm hoping between now and middle February, or maybe by the end, that we will be international. God willing, before the end of the month. That's my prayer. I got to let you go, Brother Twizzle. I absolutely hope that we talk again. Thank you for listening to Pat Talk. Thank you, Chef C, for your leadership, for your vision, for everything, man, for just being like the miracle millennial. For we broke down, dried up old Black people. It's nice to see mad younger people. That stuff kind of like makes you want to fight. Damn, let me put this cane down and get back in the battle. Okay, you know how to find us. You know how to email us. You know how to support us. Like, subscribe, share. Again, like, subscribe, share, support. Dr. Randy Short at gmail.com is the Zelle and PayPal. Dr. Randy Short is the Cash App. This is my church, people. I got to go. White woman to everybody. And y'all know what I mean. MFM, I'm gone. Bye-bye. Bye.